I got a long one here, but it's important. How do you find a woman who will stay with you, if that's your goal? I ran this through Notebook LM, and it was kind of weird because it seemed confused about what I was saying. Now, the problem is, when you consider this hypothetical woman is, oh, that sounds weird. She's either impressionable, like we all are, and is going to get the idea that she'd be better off on her own with the kids, and society might, in the name of protecting her or the kids, support this view if things are going wrong. That's to say, some women are going to hit the road sooner than other women and not stick with you, and that's more likely nowadays. So that's not great. And this could be because society is trending matriarchal. Society can work fine matriarchal, never mind whether we like it or not. But the idea is that society has to find a way to work. And if a man meets a woman and has a child and then gets kicked out, that's the way a lot of animals work. And the men support the children from afar, and then the women raise the children with the views of a matriarchal society, and so it perpetuates itself. And they can do that better because they're more financially independent. They're more financially independent anyhow nowadays. So that's our playing field. That's what we have to deal with. And here are some options. And this is where Notebook LM kind of flipped out because it thought I was being serious about this. I'm being facetious. I'm trying to illustrate a point. Number one option is you can give up. You can take yourself out of the picture. I'm not saying people should do that, but that's definitely what people do. You can surrender. You can leave it to the woman to decide what to do. Say, hey, I'm with Alan Alda. I support this matriarchal society. And sometimes the women don't like that very much, because the best thing you can do for a woman is shoulder some of the responsibility rather than just say, hey, honey, what do I do next to make you happy, rather than figuring it out yourself. The butch lesbian women have understood this for a long time, because when they're with a non-butch lesbian woman, they take a sort of male role and they take responsibility for things, because it's got to be exhausting being a mother who has to deal with an idiot husband who is just sort of like another child, plus raising the children. She's responsible for the masculine and the feminine. So surrender, not a great option, but definitely a big choice nowadays. You can be more valuable, and that way the woman won't want to lose you. But this is tricky, because if you're the tough guy and tough love and all that, she might get advice that she ought to leave you, that this is the wrong way, that the matriarchy is a better way. And she may have been brought up by a single mother who is going to reinforce that view, and that role can go away. It's also tough to find ways to be more valuable. You can't just say, I'm going to be taller or stronger and so on. You have to have valuable skills, and it needs to be things that women traditionally don't do or can't do as well. They might be involving risk, because it's a lot worse if the mother gets taken out while the kids are young than if the father gets taken out, and strength and all that. But these roles are more and more rare. Hopefully we fight fewer wars, and even when we do, it's not like guys swinging swords at each other. And so you sort of see that the very prosperous places like Scandinavia are more and more becoming a matriarchal society. You can also hope for a situation that'll make it easier for you as the man to be valuable. That's the patriarchal society, where they restrict women from doing and learning things, and that lets the women focus on what they have to do, and it enforces a need for the women to trust the man to get certain things done. It forces a situation where the man is valuable. That's what happens if you don't let women drive. A lot of stuff that happens in the Middle East. And then finally, the only reasonable thing I'm suggesting here is you can try to find a woman with a moderate view, and her family feels the same way. She feels that both the matriarchal and the patriarchal society extremes aren't great. In the former, men are mineralized and only the alphas breed. Women are stressed out. In the latter, women are diminished and can't do useful things. men are emotionally isolated. And that's my whole point, to talk about this, be interested to know what you think, and try to understand this, because it's a lot easier to just do one of the other things. It's easier to give up or surrender, or hope for a patriarchal society coming along. What's really hard is kind of moderating things. And in theory, that's where they would say you should communicate. And I'm not so sure about that, because communicating can turn very quickly into asking your mom, namely your wife, what should you do next? You're supposed to figure it out on your own.